our tail of the tape for our first fight live right here on CBS Sports Network. 3-0 the record for Rosta, 5-1 for Gwerder. Everything else, Big John, looks, well, almost identical. There's a reach advantage of 2.5 inches for Gwerder. Here's the voice, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Bellator MMA Live on CBS Sports Network. From Mohegan Sun Arena, we get underway with middleweights set for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing the blue corner at 6'1", weighing in 184.2 pounds. His professional record near perfect, 5 wins, just 1 loss. From Honolulu, Hawaii, he fights out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Ty Savage Gwerder. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner at 6 foot, weighing in 185.5 pounds. As a professional, he's undefeated at 3-0 by way of Newcastle, Pennsylvania. He fights out of Coconut Creek, Florida, Dalton Hercules Rosta. And when the bell rings, the ref in charge, Todd Anderson.
Todd Anderson, our referee, as we get things underway here inside the Mohegan Sun Arena. Dalton Rosta and Ty Gwerder. Ready? Hey, here we go! Tonight's fight clock presented by Geico. Rosta 3-0 in the red gloves. Gwerder 5-1 in the blue gloves. Gwerder, a natural southpaw, guys, but he will switch his stance.
He will. I really like the way Gwerder came in. He was so calm, relaxed. Exactly what we didn't see in his first fight in Bellator. He's got his wits about him, got his nerves down. He is a very good technical fighter.
Just fought 48 days ago here, back on September 12th. The vicious knee that finished Tokos that John showed you a moment ago.
Yeah, that's nice. Very good.
Rosta, this is his second fight at 185, his first as an official member of American Top Team.
Fake kicks. Yes, good. Nice. Spacious.
Yeah, Rosta's first 2 fights were at light heavyweight. Came in, 2 impressive wins, but Gwerder is definitely the best opponent he has faced now in his young career.
Don't forget, fans all around the world, you can join the conversation on all your social media platforms. Hashtag Bellator 250.
That was a nice counter left Rosta hit Gwerder with.
Yeah, Gwerder kept himself inside the pocket a little bit too long. When he backed out with his right hand down. Rosta was able to catch him.
He scouted. And once he scouted 2 together. Nice. Go again.
John, we've seen Rosta fight a couple times now. The thing is the story is the same. In the first round, he has a dominant strength performance type first round, right? Yep. But he does tend to slow down in that second round. We've seen that and noticed that even when he goes into the third round, he just kind of stays in that like slower pace. In the first round, he's explosive, fast, heavy hitter. But as the fight goes on, we see him slow down. And in Gwerder's last fight, he had lost the first round and started coming on in the second and ended up getting the finish.
Yeah, he did. And you would look at Rosta, one of the things coming from, he was working out in his home state of Pennsylvania with the Mat Factory. Good people there. But by going down to Coconut Creek and ATT, he's got a plethora of 185-pound guys to train with. Guys that are going to push him, guys that are going to show him that he needs to be always in that top physical condition, because you never know if you're going to end up having to go the full 15 rounds.
Just a lot of muscle to carry around. He's not an extremely tall guy carrying that type of muscle, and we've seen in the past with other athletes as well. The explosiveness with that amount of muscle tends to slow you down in the second and third round.
Yeah, but when you're able to control where the fight's at and the pace right now, like you're seeing Dalton Rosta do, without a lot of overextending, That's when you're comfortable. That's when you can go a long time.
Shout out to Isaac Greeley, the leader at the Mat Factory, recently inducted into the Pitt Johnstown Hall of Fame. The two-time All-American who was on 2 national championship teams. And the black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Rosta, as I mentioned, went down with a small gym bag to Coconut Creek after a couple days of training. Dan Lambert pulled him over and said, "We're going to keep you here, kid. You got some talent."
A lot of straight views by
I want all you guys to understand there was 3 or 4 transitions there that we weren't able to talk through, but there was a single leg to the pull, back into the double leg, and then the lift. Nice job, though, by Gwerder to defend almost all of them until that last little step over where he was able to kind of get back to this position now.
I think what Josh was saying, John, is I wouldn't stop talking so he couldn't go through the transition.
It's not very often that I try to be polite. This was one of those moments.
Guilty as charged. Guilty as charged, buddy. Trying to utilize that strength again. Extreme Couture meets American Top Team here on CBS Sports Network.
You need to be careful about you got to be judicious with that strength because you can only have that blast so often. Not that, you know, Rosta did anything wrong because he got him down, but he wasn't able to keep him down with it, so he needs to be smart about when he uses that power.
Man, you've said plethora and judicious so far tonight, John.
I'm so much smarter because I'm working with you, Goldie.
Yeah, that is true.
Nice job of getting the hook.
He's going to go home and look those words up, by the way.
Exactly. He's on his phone right now.
Good stuff, nice and relaxed. Good.
In the round.
Ross on the back, he's at the palm of the palm. Oh, he had the palm of the palm for a second.
Good start, as we expected from these talented middleweights. Set for the start of round number 2. Rosta and Gwerder. Big John, your unofficial scorecard.
Officially, I give that round to Dalton Rosta. He controlled it. He landed the better shots. It was his round.
Josh?
Yeah, I have to agree with him. But I also liked what Gwerder's corner had said. What had happened was I had Gwerder, it was a close round. I had Gwerder slightly ahead, and then he jumped for that flying knee and ended up getting taken down. He lost the rest of the round from there. So what his corner said was don't do anything fancy. You were winning some of the exchanges there, and he's just got to stay basic and keep doing what he's doing.
He needs to be sure to get his foot to the outside of Rosta. When he steps inside, you can see Rosta likes to launch that right hand. He needs to be careful of that. Think about where your foot placement is.
Gwerder fought here, as I mentioned, on September 12th. Rosta fought here on August 7th. Just over 2 months ago. That was the win over Mark Gardner, that nasty cut over the right eye of Gardner. His first fight at 185.
Good job. Close his face, spacious.
Following our main event, CBS Sports Network switches over to the gridiron for some Mountain West action as Colorado State battles Fresno State. Catch it all on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Good. Back that up now.
Nice hips by Gwerder there, right there.
That was. It was a nice kick that took his leg out. Gwerder quickly got his hips back, but nice job of following through by Rosta.
For someone who's only 3-0 with Rosta, he did a great job right there understanding the sport of MMA, not just wrestling. He pulled him away from the single leg, he pulled him away from the fence, switched to the double, and now he's on top, covering the hips and the thighs there with his hips.
Pulled those hips back and then covered both legs with his body on top. He's transitioning to the back.
Get that wrist, that cross wrist. Yeah, wrist right. Control that wrist. Control that wrist.
Gwerder said of Dalton Rosta, his opponent, that he is probably the most explosive fighter he has faced. He also talked about the muscles that you talked about, Josh. He said he has all those muscles, and he does look like someone that fights with a lot of tenacity, and we see that right here, right now.
It's not where you want a good wrestler on top of you with your hips flattening you out and doing some work. I mean, Gwerder trains at Extreme Couture, so he's got a lot of good wrestlers that are out of there right now. But just being in there with an opponent that just understands the feel of your body once he gets to the top position and what he does best is not something you always see in your own gym.
Well, this is actually a good job of Gwerder getting himself back to a really good position. If someone's going to have your back, having him up against the cage is not a bad place for you to be. You can work yourself out. You can actually slide down in this position and spin yourself through. There's ways to get out from here. We'll see what he does.
Rosta wrestled at Seton Hall, graduated from Youngstown State. Actually was 6-0 as an amateur boxer.
2 minutes to go.
2 minutes on the clock, round 2.
So even though John was talking about Gwerder putting Rosta's back to the cage, I like when the fighter picks a side to defend instead of being there where he can attack both sides. Rosta was able to attack both sides. He just lay to one side, able to defend one side. Here, Gwerder talking to the camera.
Got the camera there, man. Got to make a little speech.
It's the relaxation of it, though. That's what
It is good. He's not, he's just working his way through the positions.
John, one of my toughest fights was this guy named KJ Woods who just liked to talk throughout his fight. And I was like, what are you talking? Let's fight. And it just, when you have someone like with Rosta, he wants to fight you. Gwerder's out there having a good time. It sometimes gets in your mind.
It can if you allow, because sometimes you're thinking, why is he talking to me?
I'm beating him up right now. Why is he talking? Why is he talking to the camera?
Why does he feel like this is fun?
Go, bro. 1, 2, let's go.
For some of us, it was.
Yes, well, my point is, seemed to be, for you it was, maybe not for KJ at the time.
Heavy feints, heavy feints.
You see with all that wrestling how much Dalton Rosta has slowed down now. This is where Gwerder needs to get on that push kick, start mixing up his strikes, and hiding his kicks behind his punches.
Yeah, but Rosta, you got to say right now, he's looking better than he has. He's gone farther right now than in any fight that he's been in his pro career. And he's looking good. So you can see there's a progression to his cardiovascular condition.
That might be true, John, but he also hasn't wrestled as much in this fight as he did in his first 2 fights because he knew it was going to be a lot of energy spent trying to take Gwerder down.
Throw that. Throw it, you got nothing loose.
Hands up, champion.
The move to American top team.
Let's go, Ty. There you go.
First fight for Rosta with a full camp at ATT.
Nice side kick.
Round 2 in the books. This is the first time Dalton Rosta has fought past the second round. 5 minutes remain. Rosta in the red gloves, Gwerder in the blue gloves. John, you have Rosta up 10-9, 10-9.
No doubt about it right now. He's the guy that's taken both rounds. Not that Gwerder's been in that much of trouble, but Rosta's put him into grappling situations where he's been the guy that's been having to defend. Take a look at most of the strikes. Gwerder's landed some good things, but Rosta has also. Right now, I think that Gwerder needs to do something significant in this round or finish Rosta to get the win.
Look at those numbers. Those are virtually identical.
Beautiful. Fake kick.
But it's been the wrestling exchanges that have given Rosta the edge on Big John's scorecard.
Well, when we were talking about the fight, one of the things that Josh really looked at was Gwerder getting this to the third round. He thought that was a beautiful left hand that just landed. That was where he was going to be able to exploit Dalton Rosta.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, John, you might have been correct with him going to ATT because I saw him between the second and third round. He took a couple deep breaths, and he looked like he was ready to go. And that was in the first 10 seconds of his break.
Yeah, I looked at his diaphragm when the round was the break was basically over. Hardly any movement at all. That's telling you, man, he's in shape.
Gwerder, 5 career wins, all by knockout. Rosta, 3 career wins, all by knockout, all inside the Bellator cage.
Your position. Your position. Nice. So again, no step in the cage.
Gwerder did earn his most recent victory in the third round with that vicious knee.
Yeah,
right here inside the Mohegan Sun Arena, Josh.
What Gwerder needs to do, though, is he keeps going to the head with the head kick. What he needs to do is throw the left hand and then maybe follow up with a kick to the body.
Oh, that was a nice explosive knee by Rosta. Just missed. It definitely got Gwerder's attention. You see him moving away from him now. When you got a guy that explodes like that, you're not expecting it. It gets your attention.
Stay low. When you come back, stay low, patience.
Putting some new tools in that toolbox. Hercules showing that flying knee.
There's that body kick. You can already see earlier in the first round, Rosta's ribs were a little teed up. I'm surprised he didn't continue to go back to that throughout the second round.
He's landed that a couple times, but that left hand touched Gwerder again. Right back into it. Nice job by Dalton Rosta.
And he worked into this position, Josh, with his hands.
That's exactly what he needed to do. And he's also just closing the distance without smothering himself. He lands something, he throws again. When he doesn't land something, he feels like Gwerder can retaliate, he goes to the double leg. And this is where he ends up right now, his dominant position.
Rosta just went right into mount. Gwerder needs to use that fence to try to get himself out of this. Good job by Rosta to kind of pull him off of it.
Out the back door.
That was a beautiful job of maintaining position and taking that back right there.
Yeah, because he could have slid right off.
Exactly, he was a little high.
Had Gwerder went to the tripod and gave a little shake, he might have got him off because they're sweaty. This is the third round. 3/4 of the way through the third round.
Well, you're good. Position's perfect.
There needs to be a little bit more sense of urgency from Gwerder, though. You can't be silent. There you go, all the way.
Smart in. Nice job by Rosta. And huge ground and pound. Now he's got the back.
Where you are, good. Control that hand.
When you get to that position, John, where you spin, that hand that comes all the way across your body needs to go right to the hips so they can't come on top. And you've got to start hip escaping away a little bit, because if they do try to come on top, at least you can create space to bring your knees in.
Slide down now.
I just gave everyone at home a lot of information. They're like, what did you just say?
See, that's why I kept talking earlier.
Of course. I love this little technique right here. He turns the chin so he can escape the left side and attack on the neck on the left side. Great job by Rosta. He had a great performance today, John.
He's been fantastic throughout this fight because Gwerder is good and he's calm and relaxed. He's like, look at him trying to control the arm. All good movement, smart control of the back. You see a lot of times people with bigger guys, you don't see the body triangle near as much because if you don't have that real long inseam, you can't lock it in the same way. Gwerder getting himself out, but it might be a little bit too late.
Hold the wizard. Knee to the wall. Knee to the wall.
Put your head out and throw here.
10 seconds on the clock.
There you go.
Both men going to go to the distance for the first time in their professional career. The official decision, Rosta and Gwerder, is coming up next. Bellator is proud to have partnered with the dedicated professionals at Hartford Healthcare for all of our COVID-19 testing and screening. For more information, go to hartfordhealthcare.org. Dalton Rosta just said to Ty Gwerder, hey, I stole that flying knee off of your tape. And then Gwerder said, that was pretty nice. Here's Michael C. Williams with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go to your three judges at cage side. All three, Jared Villel, Doug Crosby, John English, all have it exactly the same, 30-27. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Dalton Hercules Rosta.
Dalton Rosta moves to 4-0 in his professional career, all 4 wins inside the Bellator cage.